Yo, what are Freemasons,
He's
bro?
all down with me. Traitors. Thinking I'm done. No chance.
Europe and across the globe. With their enigmatic symbols, secret
Yo, what the frick is a Freemason, bro?
political and economic world.
Them niggas can catch the smoke. I don't know what they are, bro.
And hostility.
Alright, man. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know, bro. We gonna have a lit day today, bro. I'm really feeling the spirit, man. I'm really feeling the spirit. I'm gonna hop straight on Minecraft. I'm feeling like playing PUBG, man. If you feel like putting in your 2 weeks notice, man, if this video reached to you, bro, and you feel like putting in your 2 weeks notice, you probably should.
Convinced that the Freemasons held political and esoteric secrets, the Nazis launched mass robberies of European Masonic lodges.
Forget this. I don't care about Freemasons. Here, let me Alright, so we're gonna play a little bit of Minecraft first. Play a little bit of Minecraft first, and then
For all of life's shifts.
What if we could control the deep autonomic nervous system, the immune system? Inflammation is the
okay, I'll
cause
save that
and
for watch
effect of-
later. But listen, y'all, bro. There's a couple things that I want to talk about. I think there's two different topics that I want to talk about. But this first one is going to be about putting in your 2 weeks notice and how it could save you from...
3, 2.
Holy, that was a bomb.
Like and subscribe. 3.
Oh my gosh.
1.
Okay, anyways. Put your 2 weeks notice in right today, as soon as possible. Put your 2 weeks notice in as soon as possible. If you're seeing this video and it reached you, it's probably because God wants you to know that you need to make that decision as soon as possible. It's costing you no good, and... Oh man, this thing is tripping. Let me tell you guys a story on how many... Oh my gosh, what is going on? So, I have, over the years of, you know, this entire journey that I've been taking, over the years of being, you know, a young, ambitious entrepreneur wanting to become this somebody who I obviously don't know in the future, I discovered one thing was, first of all, there were so many times where I didn't know. I didn't want to put my 2 weeks notice in because of the first and obvious main reason is because of the income. If I lose the income, then I'm going to obviously not have, you know, if I lose the income, then I won't have money, right? So that was really the main that was the main problem with when it comes to losing, or like, you know, putting in my 2 weeks notice and not wanting to move up in my life and try to find another job, maybe try to find an opportunity and move up in my life. Now, there has been plenty of times where in my life where I totally did not want to do that, and the main reason why is because of that. It's because of the money that comes with the job is very sustainable. It is very true. The money that comes with the job is very sustainable. It helps you make money. It helps you keep money. It helps you have but you gotta look at the bright side of things sometimes. You gotta look at the reason why you are even considering this right now. And you know, one of the reasons why I personally had to make this video was because, like I said, there's been plenty of times in my life where I've been stuck wondering whether I should put in my 2 weeks notice or just deal with the job, right? And honestly, your best option is always just to try to find another job unless you found the career that you've wanted to work in all your life. Of course, maybe God will try to reveal something different in you when you want to put in your 2 weeks notice and on a job that you've been wanting to work at all your life. You wanted to work at McDonald's all your life. Now that you're working at McDonald's, you want to put in your 2 weeks notice. Why? So, jobs are never even good anyways. I never really that's the main reason why I personally never really liked working. I never really liked working a job anyways. So that's nothing new. But the point is, I know there's people out there in the world who go through the same thing that I went through. And that's basically struggling to figure out whether they should actually make that decision or not. Because, you know, people are gonna look at you funny maybe, or maybe you know, most advice says to not do things like that because, well, you need the money or whatever, you need the income that comes with it. But first of all, I'm gonna break it down exactly what you probably should do before you put in your 2 weeks notice. But I'm gonna show you guys a little story first before I explain all that. And this is what it is, okay? I used to work. One of the first jobs that I ever worked at was Arby's, okay? I worked at Arby's, okay? I was probably about like 15 years old or something like that. Around that time, maybe 16. And, you know, I just wanted to get experience, alright? I wanted to get experience. I wanted to get a little bit of XP under my belt so that I can actually claim restaurant experience so that I can work at more fast food places faster, you know? Just gaining a general experience so that I can actually claim that I have experience in the future so that I can get more jobs, right? Okay, cool. Now, when I work a job, I go there to come in to work. I don't come in to play around. I don't come in to talk about how your day was, what you played last night, how high you got. I don't care about none of that, all right? I come to work and to go. For my boss, for my manager, for my friends, for my coworkers, and for myself. I come in to work and to leave. Get my money and get out. Sure, we can have a couple conversations here or there, have a cup of coffee or whatever, drink some tea, spill the tea a little bit, but I'm not really a gossiper, first of all. At least that's what the majority of people at work talk about, is gossip. So, I'm not really into that, man. I'm not interested in gossip or anything like that. So, I was never really a person that was you know, just friendly like that. I've always been a very quiet, basically, coworker in a way. I don't think I've ever been... Of course, I do believe that I've been that annoying coworker. I have been that annoying coworker. I have been that quiet coworker as well. But I think I've mainly been the quiet coworker who's worked. While everybody, you know, everybody works, but everybody, for some reason, develops this friendship. And the story that I'm trying to explain right now is, as a person that I am, right? I'm not trying to sound prideful or anything like that, because I understand that I do have some flaws and some angles that people see that I don't get to see, right? And that's okay. But when I know look, I know bull when I see it. Okay? I know bull when I see it, and I'm not going to... This is why I wanted to explain this story right here, is because when it comes to genuine, like, self-value, when it comes to actually valuing your time, and maybe not just even your time, but actually valuing, like, respecting yourself as who you are, as everyone else is human, so are you. I I think I'm getting a little bit too carried away. The point is, I can't remember what the situation was, but I just started working at the job. I think it was around a month or whatnot, and you know, I don't know if Arby's is all Arby's are like this. If they're not, you know, it kind of exposes the lady on how she was genuinely just treating me for no reason. And if it is, then it's my fault. And I take accountability for not doing it. And even accountability for treating her the way I did. Because I did get a little bit frustrated at the manager. I got a little flustered. And I gave her a little bit of back talk. Because I wasn't taking any bullcrap that she was trying to give me. Now, listen to this story right here. This is why I want to explain it. Because it's very important to know why I did this decision. Why I made this decision out of impulse. Now, the lady basically had a problem with me that day because I was working at the cash register and working. Oh my gosh, all that just to die. Oh man. Oh man, that bothered me. That bothered me. Bro, this is a joke. But anyways, as I was saying, I just started working there, so I'm not really like, and on top of me just starting to work there, I'm very young. So this is why I specifically made this decision, is because I know when there's genuine disrespect or genuine envy or and any kind of genuine wrong being done that I can't respect, regardless. You know, I will always humble myself, but when I feel like God is telling me to do something, I do it. And so this is what I made. I put in my 2 weeks notice because I was working at the cash register. And as I was saying, I just started working there and I'm very young, so I'm just gaining experience. If anybody can give me a little bit of a break while I'm working there. I'm getting experience as I'm working there. And I want people to know that. Oh, what are you guys doing, bro? Dude. And then I fall right in the water, bro. Right in the water, like right in the fuck. Ooh, see, calm down. Anyways. I was working at the cash register. In Arby's, apparently, you're supposed to call out orders when people tell it to you. Alright, now, if anybody works at Arby's and, you know, that's not true, you know, just type it in the comment section, you know, like, let me know if you have to call out orders when you are in the cash register or not. But either way, the lady wanted me to call out the orders. She wanted me to call out everything that the people wanted. So, you know, I was like, okay, that's cool. You know, I'm down to do that, but there was something that happened. I think I'm not sure. I remember it was something like I ended up cleaning up an area, and supposedly there was an order up, and I just didn't see it or something like that. Now, of course, I hope God is actually correcting me in this, but I think that's exactly how it went. I was cleaning an area in the front after doing register or whatnot, and the lady's already flustered with me because I'm not doing things that are, you know, it's trainer activities, right? Like I'm just starting Arby's. I'm not really into like screaming orders out like that. Like that's not what I'm trying to do. I just started working here, and you know, but of course that's not what I'm not gonna not do what the manager tells me. So that's not what it's about. That's why I don't think this is what the story is about. I think what happened was there was an order and I possibly just didn't let them know, or yeah, I just didn't see it. And she got upset with me because I actually said something back to her. And okay, when in that situation, in the heat of the moment, at least, I'm okay with being disrespected. I'm totally okay with being disrespected. I'm okay with the lady feeling like she has total authority over me, all because she's my manager, right? I'm okay with it. She can think however way she wants to think about me. She can hate me. She can do whatever she wants, right? But it's what happened after this situation is what ticked me off to put in my 2 weeks notice that I could not respect. And here's what I'm gonna tell you right now. A couple days, or I don't know what happened, but I didn't see the lady anymore after a while. It was like a whole entire week that went by and I did not get to see the lady. And within that week, she had somebody write a referral for me. And of course, I'm not saying that she didn't want to be there herself to do it, but she had somebody write a referral for me for what happened. And after that, I had to sit there and, I believe that it was obviously just guidance, because when something like that it's a very strong decision out of nowhere too. I don't believe anything like that is really just random, but it was a very strong decision that I made right after getting a referral. They wrote down a referral for some kind of, I don't know. Of course, I started back talking the lady, and she didn't appreciate it, but everybody should be treated equally and fairly. So there's a lot of things that she disrespected me about, and I didn't let, I can't write her a referral. But because she has this authority over me, and because she can claim these things over me, she can just mess my job record up if she wants to. And so, as soon as she wrote that referral, the lady who wrote the actual referral, the manager who actually wanted the referral written, was not there to actually show me or actually tell me what it was that, I have that for. And that's why I wanted to say, like, sorry, let me rephrase that. So yeah, the lady wasn't actually there to tell me about my referral, but there was a sub, right? There was like a sub manager, and that sub manager, I told her, I was like, can I put my 2 weeks notice in with you? I just asked her. I wasn't hesitant or anything. I went right up to her right after the conversation that we had. I had to go to the bathroom for a little bit. I told him, can I go to the bathroom? Went to the bathroom. I had to think. I got really upset, and I felt the presence of God. I was like, God, I know you see this and how annoying. I'm about to put in my 2 weeks notice. And right then and there, I went right up to the manager and I said, can I put in my 2 weeks notice? And she said, sure. And that's it. I never worked there again after 2 weeks. Of course, she started giving me less hours after I put in my 2 weeks notice, as any other petty manager would. And yeah, that was it. No more Arby's ever again. I moved on. I got another job, and I started working at Sonic. And there was a lady there that I got a little bit disrespectful with. I'm not gonna lie. I feel bad now. I repent, of course. I got very disrespectful with her, but she was I don't know, I guess an assistant manager for the time being, and she was not letting me do a station that I knew how to operate. And when managers do that, I always take the humility or humiliating position of an employee to humble myself enough to do obviously what you tell me to do. But once you're like aware that I can operate something at a higher level, and I don't have to be stuck on one station. For an example, you're keeping me stuck and confined to this one thing, and you're making it seem like I can't work on certain stations. I can't go here, I can't go there. You want me to stay there because you don't want me to mess up things here, even though I won't mess it up. And even if I did, it's called training. So, as I said, there's a specific kind of unfairness when it comes to jobs and people, right? It's very plain. Like, it's very unfair. The manager has a higher position than all the employees, of course, which they don't even earn that position. They earn the position just as much as an employee did. Believe it or not, any manager out there who is a manager, obviously, they barely just earn their position. Barely. The only way they earned it is by basically getting hired as a manager or, you know, moving up, which is very, very, I feel like it's very, very easy to do that if you're, like, obsessed with a franchise. Like, it's not really something that, it's not ideal. You know, it's not really freeing to be a manager of some restaurant or be, you know, just stuck to having to manage people. I don't want to manage people. Okay? I want to manage myself. I want to manage the things that God obviously wants me to manage, the correct things, not people. Okay, yes, that might be somebody's full-time job is managing people, but that's not mine. All right, and that's never been mine. So, I have to say, you know, when somebody wants to manage me in a way that is demanding and slightly disrespectful, slightly belittling, slightly, you know, it's not really humiliating. I just think it's just plainly disrespectful. You know, it's that kind of like you can't really say that it's humbling. I think it's definitely humbling. Okay, so it is humiliating. But as I said, there's another you know, it's not fully disrespect the reason why you should put your 2 weeks notice, but you always want to make sure that you're not being treated unfairly. Always make sure that you're not being treated unfairly, because if you're being treated unfairly, it is a perfect example of why you should put your 2 weeks notice in. You're not there to deal with nobody's bullcrap, alright? That's what I'm here to make this video for. You're not there to deal with nobody's bullcrap, especially since they're there not to deal with nobody's bullcrap just as much as you aren't. They're there to make the same dollar that you're there to make, if not more than what you're making or less. So it doesn't matter who or what position you're in. Everybody should be treated fairly in a job, regardless of whether you're the manager or the employee or whether you've been disrespected or not. Everybody should be treated fairly. There should be no kind of unfairness, regardless. That's why I would put in my 2 weeks notice. If there's any kind of unfairness between a job, I can't help but, like, stop working there immediately, as soon as possible. As soon as I see just flawness, just something purely that I don't want to be a part of, I put my 2 weeks notice. And I would suggest you to do the same thing. As I said, I got a little bit, as a fact, that's so funny. I'm wearing a Sonic, probably the Sonic shirt that I wore when I was Custer out. But yeah, man, I forgive that lady. I forgive both of the ladies. I'm pretty sure there's more reasons why I put my 2 weeks notice in other jobs, but I forgot even, like, where else did I work at? I worked at Waffle House. Waffle House was a pretty good job. Red Lobster, I put my 2 weeks notice in Red Lobster because they gave me no hours. I stopped working at Red Lobster because they didn't give me any hours. They were just slow, and even if they weren't slow. They had a reason to use me. They had every reason to use me. I was a line cook. I could be a line cook. I could prep things. I can clean up. I could close. I could wash dishes. I could even serve, and they didn't want to use me. So I put my 2 weeks notice in with that job too. I'm not going to beg for hours for a job to give me money. I'm not going to beg a job to give me money. I'm not going to do that. If God is going to allow me to make money with that job, let it be done as it is. And His will, not my will, be done, but His will be done. That's why I am very, very serious when it comes to setting that tone down when it comes to a job. Don't be confined to a job. Don't stay stuck working a job, ever. Ever, because you're not defined by that job. That income that you make from that job, you are not defined by it. You can make probably more income without that job, and you don't know that because you've never discovered it before. So, as I said, I'm working one station and she doesn't want me to move around or anything like that. And you know, I think I told her, like, stop telling me what to do, you know, like I'm gonna do what I want, and if you don't like it, then I'm gonna go. And she just kind of like, you know, we got a little bit hot with each other, man. We started, like, I'm pretty sure cussing each other out. I called her fat and everything. I was just being mean. But the point is, you know, that job ended up making me ugly. It ended up making me ugly. It ended up making me do something that I basically regret doing today. And so I want to say that, for the most part, the reason why people feel bitter still is because of that job. And I'm not going to blame all bitterness on the job, okay? But if you still feel bitterness from the job, specifically, put your 2 weeks in. Find another job before you put your 2 weeks. Put your 2 weeks. Enjoy the next job. Get more experience. Try something new. Involve God and invite God into your life, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be stuck working at Arby's for the rest of your life, don't you? Like, you want to at least tell the world that you worked at Sonic, Arby's, Red Lobster, Waffle House, and all these other places that, you know, at a young age that nobody else can claim because they were too stuck working one job, trying to do one thing, and that's one thing is trying to just make sure that they stay. Or, you know, I'm getting a little sidetracked, but the point is, that one thing is just meaningless. As everything is in this earth. Meaningless. I want grape juice. Like, nigga, I'm craving grape juice like a mother lover, bro. But yeah, don't take any kind of disrespect when it comes to your job. Like, don't ever take any kind of disrespect when you're getting paid by the hour. Now, of course, there's a little bit of humility when it comes to that. Okay, you don't want to be like a prideful person. That's not cute or anything like that. All right, you don't want to be prideful with it either. You just don't want to be a slave to somebody who doesn't even respect you anyways, kind of thing. Okay, most managers do not respect their employees just because of the simple authority that they have over them. That's it. Most managers do not put themselves at the same level as their employees because they're not at the same level as they are already. So they already have to think bigger than them because they are bigger than them. So they think that they are above them in almost every way, shape, and form. When in reality, if anything, I believe that an employee is more free than a manager. I don't think anybody's ever said that before, but I'm gonna be the first if no one has. Here, what is this? So yeah, y'all. Don't be confined to that job. That job does not define who you are, man. It definitely doesn't. You want to try something new. You want to try to bring new opportunities into your life and not block them away. Um, with that being said, you know, yeah, just gonna go get my water. I want that grape juice. Yeah, sometimes when I don't got nothing to talk about, I just let it all go. You know, sometimes there really isn't nothing to talk about. Sometimes we just gotta vibe out and chill and like, you know, see what God wants to bring to us next, you know, because honestly, I feel like there's a lot to talk about. There's plenty of things to talk about. There's plenty of things to ramble about. There's plenty of things to just kind of vibe out and chill and talk about. Have a conversation about, make a couple clips. But yeah, like I'm in this I have this vision of coming up with a new way, a new wave. Coming up with a new wave. I want to come up with something new. I want to try to make something new and bring something new into the table, into the streaming career, into the streaming platform. Not like no, oh, you know, like this streamer is very entertaining kind of thing, but actually bring wisdom to the table, you know, kind of thing. Actually wisdom, actual wisdom. That is going to be the new thing that I bring into the world. All right, is wisdom. How important wisdom is unexplainable, honestly. You have to know how valuable wisdom is in order to actually grasp the weight. But I want to do a new thing. I want to do a new thing. I want to try to. By that I mean like I want to genuinely create a new way of people actually coming up, and with the same kind of business model in a way, or kind of the same model that I'm using in order to get up and share all my thoughts onto platforms. I want people to basically learn from me, and I guess maybe not try to do everything that I do, because it's not about doing everything that one person does. It's about actually figuring out how they did it and like why they did it. There's a lot of like Jesus is that my one how did he do it and why, right? That's my one person that I really care that much about those kinds of things. So, if it wasn't for Jesus for me, I probably wouldn't even want to like pursue any kind of career talking about random things. I don't want to talk about things that I genuinely don't know what I'm talking about. So, like I said, this is what I mean. I want to bring something new to the table. And at least when it comes to the streaming stuff, man, I don't need Streamer University, dog. That shit is for fucking the birds, bro. That shit is for the chirpers. Okay? I don't know why people out here, man, they think that, oh, just because Streamer University came out that they're gonna get that. Like, bro, it's so corny, bro. It's so cringy. I'm not gonna lie. It's so cringy. I'm seeing so many, like, it's actually exposing, Streamer University is exposing so much of Gen Z. Or whatever the hell this generation is called. But, like, bro, people just want to become streamers for the money, bro. And, like, that's exactly, it actually perfectly, God aligned me exactly where I needed to be right now to talk about this. People want to stream for the money. And, like, the wisdom that I'm bringing to the table is the reason why I have money in order to sustain what I'm doing. The reason why I want to stream is to bring wisdom to the table. And the wisdom that I'm bringing to the table is allowing me to provide the information that I'm giving you, that I'm laying here in front of you on a silver platter. Because of my wisdom, it's allowed. And I don't want to say my wisdom. I do really want. I just don't take credit for it. It's literally all him. It's all his wisdom. It's his eternal wisdom. God has given me wisdom, and it's really fascinating. It's really fascinating. I've learned a lot over the years, and it has a lot to do with letting go with a lot of things. A lot of my life has been pressure and just like no stop. Just pressure with no stop. And I guess I feel like if I just knew a little bit better, if I was just a little bit more wise, I would be less stressed out even today. Now, again, I would probably still feel the same way in the future. It'll never end. But the point is, I do still remember being a complete fool to the point of like death almost. Like, I don't want to obviously stream. The only reason why I want to stream is to have the brain rot. Okay, just to post brain rot content basically. But at the end of the day, none of that was really, my heart was really aligned with. My heart was never aligned with any of the things that I was doing, if I did it without alignment. And it took me a while to discover that, first of all, but now that I have discovered it, I just want people to know that the world is getting lost, and people want to stream for the wrong reason. I personally say create a gaming channel so that you can create a commentary or something, so that you can share your opinions out to the world in a very, at least a slightly entertaining way. But the world is just so corny, bro. I could tell there's literally like, oh my gosh, it's so cringy. But yeah,